Warning, this video is for educational purposes only and intended for viewers age 18 and older. If you're under 18, please exit now. Always comply with local laws regarding cannabis cultivation.
Let's get our turkey right here and we're gonna cook them. We'll cook them well. We're gonna cook them until they're ripe and toasty and like them.
Novacotton, my brother, my friend, my pal. I was wondering if you want to have Thanksgiving with me, with my family.
What? Really? Why? What's going on, man? This is weird.
Okay, I was sure to coat it with you, man. I'm sick of the food here. I'm sick of it. Can I eat the turtles? Can I eat the mushrooms? Don't know what I'm supposed to be eating.
What do you want me to bring you?
Please bring me a turkey, man. I'll do anything for a turkey.
Fucking turkey,
please,
dude.
A turkey.
I don't want to do it. I'm too busy.
I'll make it work for time.
I'll
give you a Joe shake.
I'll have a turkey.
Alright, yeah.
Alright, man. Alright, computer, have you tracked me a good, decent-sized turkey yet?
We have a turkey in its planet called Turkey Lapalapa.
Who's naming these planets, dude? What the fuck? Alright.
Be warned, you might not carry the sufficient skills or equipment needed for this
A
world.
crowbar or a frickin' BB gun, okay? I think I'm set. These are turkeys,
This
man.
is a violation of Galactic Law 3277-14,
Do nothing anymore.
Ethical Aviation
Seriously,
Pursuit
dude.
Law. In accordance with international conservation efforts and
so
economy of ethical
interesting.
hunting
Let me
practices,
listen
the
to
use
more
of
of that.
black
Oh god, dude. Whoa. This is like Silent Hill. What the hell? Computer, I don't see any turkeys
Life
around
Spanner
here, dude.
detects
What the
multiple
fuck?
turkeys.
Oh, I think I see one over there. Oh, I hear it too.
Holy crap, dude, computer, this is not a normal turkey, dude. Why you always fucking do this shit to me? I'm gonna fucking die like, okay, buddy. It's okay, you buff-ass fucker. Jeez. God, these guys look like they bench press whole sacks of corn for fun. Their drumsticks weren't drumsticks, more like, nah, dude. You know what? I'm done with this. I'm done. You wait right there, buddy. Give me a second. Alright, so like what, 20 pumps should do it, right? Maybe 30? Fuck it, let's find out. We're having turkey today.
And the plants just dance. All the flowers take their chance. Deep down a perfect stance. We watch as nature enhances. Under lights we feel the trance. As the air flows through the tent, AC infinity's heaven sent. The regulation I won't relent. In this moment no time's been spent.
Hey Gromies, welcome to episode 8 of Grow With Me, Novacotton. This week we're looking at days 35 through 42 of my Amethyst Frost Haze. It's an autoflower from Speedrun Seeds. And honestly, thank you guys so much for joining me this week. Let's get into this weekly update. So grab a notebook, grab a blunt, some snacks, and let's dive into it. So at this stage, the plant is fully into the stretch phase, transitioning from the vegetative growth to flowering, and this is one of the most exciting parts of the grow. As you can see, the plant's shooting upward and developing a structure it'll rely on during the flowering phase. The nodes are spacing out nicely, which is crucial for airflow, and is giving the buds room to develop without overcrowding. So far, this grow has been smooth sailing, no complications to report. Amethyst Frost Haze is stretching exactly as expected, and this growth spurt sets the foundation for strong, healthy bud sides. At this stage, it's all about balancing the environment. I've kept a close eye on light intensity, making sure it's high enough to support growth without overwhelming her. Now that we're well into the stretch phase, it's time to switch gears and focus on bloom nutrients. This week I bumped up the nutrient concentration from 25 milliliters per gallon for both part A and B to 30 milliliters per gallon. This increase is essential at this stage. As the plant is transitioning fully into bloom, it requires more resources to support bud development. It's all about giving her what she needs to thrive while avoiding any overfeeding. I've also decided to omit the H202 Flow solution for now, since everything in the system is clean and running smoothly. There's no need for it at the moment. H202 Flow is a handy tool that I typically use during nutrient switches or whenever I spot biofilm starting to form in a reservoir. Since the environment is stable and clean, it's one less step to worry about in this week. Once I've measured out the food, I carefully mix it into the reservoir and I always double check the pH level. For bloom, I aim for a pH at around 5.6. Maintaining the correct pH is critical for nutrient uptake. If it's off, the plant could struggle to absorb key nutrients, which could slow down growth or cause deficiencies, and you guys do not want that, okay? 5.65 ain't bad. Pop quiz. Which factor has the most significant impact on determining the size of an autoflower cannabis plant? Is it A, B, C, or D? The answer is A. Autoflower cannabis plants have a predetermined genetic potential for size and yield. While factors like pot size, light intensity, and CO2 levels can influence growth, they cannot override a plant's genetic blueprint. Let's talk about a quick but effective maintenance tip for keeping your grow space clean. Adding hydrogen peroxide or H202 to your humidifier. I like to do this to prevent any algae or gunk from building up into the reservoir or on the surfaces of the humidifier. H202 works by breaking down organic matter and killing off microorganisms like algae, bacteria, or mold that can thrive in the most moist of environments. It's simple, safe when used properly, and keeps your equipment running smooth. I usually add a small amount, around 1 to 2 milliliters per gallon of water in the humidifier. It's enough to sanitize without overwhelming a system or the plants. This step not only keeps your humidifier clean, but also ensures that the humidity you're providing is fresh and uncontaminated, which is crucial for maintaining a healthy grow environment. A clean humidifier means one less thing to worry about when it comes to plants' health. Let's talk about DLi, or Daily Light Integral, which measures the total amount of light your plant receives in a day. This week I rechecked the DLi because I've been lowering it to make room for my amethyst frost haze as she stretches. For week 7 of autoflower growth, I aim for a DLi of 43. When I measured it, I was a bit on the low end at 39, so I adjusted the light's power and height. After a couple of tweaks, I got it back to 43, right in the middle of the plant, which is what I want. Measuring a DLi regularly ensures your plant gets the perfect amount of light, enough to boost bud production without causing stress. If you're growing along with me, it's worth checking your DLi weekly to keep things dialed in as your plant grows. Alright guys, now let's talk about defoliation. This is actually the second time I'm defoliating my auto, and it's a key part of my strategy for maximizing bud production. Defoliation has several advantages. By removing select fan leaves, I'm improving light penetration and airflow throughout the plant. This helps ensure that all the bud sites get the light they need to grow strong and healthy, while also reducing the risk of mold or pests in those dense areas. I approach defoliation gradually, cutting little by little and increasing the frequency as the plant shows it can handle it. This way I avoid stressing her too much as she responds with more vigorous growth. When approaching defoliation, I focus on removing weak bud sites that are thin or floppy. These sites are unlikely to develop into quality buds and can sap energy from the plant. Fan leaves are a sacrifice, but it's worth to maximize the amount of high quality bud sites. This process keeps the plant focused on the areas that matter the most. Strong branches and healthy, well-lit buds. As always, I recommend going slowly and observing how your plant responds after each session. Speaking of keeping things clean, I always make sure to disinfect my scissors before and after each defoliation session. While you can use rubbing alcohol or hydrogen peroxide, a diluted bleach solution also works really well. Just mix 1 part bleach and 9 parts water, dip your scissors and wipe them off before each and every use. This helps kill any bacteria, fungi, or pathogens that could be spreading between plants. Pop quiz. What is the optimal daily light integral DLi range for autoflower cannabis plants during the vegetative state? The answer is B, 20 to 30 U-moles. It's exactly what you want during the vegetative state, as this provides sufficient light for optimal photosynthesis and growth without overwhelming a plant. Yeah. For this next segment, I'm excited to introduce a special guest, TMNK Gardens. He's here to share his expertise on growing with deep water culture, DWC. Alright, let's hit him up.
So you want to grow hydroponics? Well, you've come to the right place. This is TMNK Gardens here, and I would like to tell you a little bit about one of my favorite growing methods called Deep Water Culture Hydroponics, or DWC. DWC is a method where plants are grown with their roots suspended in the nutrition. Oxygen runs through the water. Here's how it typically works. Plants are placed in net pots, which hold them in place. The roots of the plants are grown through the net pot into the water below. That water is where their food is. So imagine someone eating all the time. They would be huge. Imagine them eating and not moving around anywhere. They would be really huge. So this water, that's where their nutrition is. But that's the main component of deep water culture. You need that water. You need that water to be filled with nutrition all the time. And you need to have proper oxygen going to it as well. Very important. You don't want just stagnant water. That's disgusting. So, how do we stop stagnant water? No one asked. I'll tell you. An air pump. That's how. Air pumps are used to supply oxygen to the water through air stoves or diffusers. The oxygenation is crucial because plant roots need oxygen to function properly. No oxygen, dead plants. There's very few things you can do to screw up DWC. That would be one of them. Now, what else do you need? Oh, yeah. You need to keep a pH between a certain amount. And that certain amount depends on veg or flower. Veg, you're going to want to be between 5.5 and 6.5. Flower, you're going to want to be between 5.5 and 6. Fairly easy. Not quite sure why people think DWC or hydroponics is complicated. It's really not. You need to keep the water less than, 80 degrees? pH, again, 5.5 to 6.5 for veg, 5.5 to 6 for flower, and that's pretty much it, actually. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. You're going to need a little space between where the roots are at and where the net pot is at. That's probably the only complication that can really arise from deep water culture. Couple quick benefits of DWC. Whenever there's a problem, there's only a handful of solutions, because there's only a handful of problems that could possibly go wrong. Chances are you're going to need to pH your water. Does your plant look a little messed up? Yeah, that's probably your pH is probably messed up. Have you changed your bucket in the past week? Oh no, you were a lazy bastard? Yeah, that's why your pH is all messed up. That's why your plant tips look burnt. Take it from me, I can not grow without apparently having some form of burnt tips. But, as I digress, DWC is like having a drag racer as a car. Things grow really, really fast. And I think that intimidates a lot of people when it comes to DWC. But if you can harness the plant's powers, then you get the full benefits of said plant. More roots, more fruits, people. So if you have a big-ass container, like a 27-gallon tote, for instance, you can fill that up with all kinds of roots. And again, more roots, more fruits. We're trying to grow fruits here. No one really cares about leaves. No one's smoking leaves. I hope not. Probably tastes better than base smokes. Maybe if you want to edit that part out. It's true, though. Community notes that. So anyhow, in conclusion, hydroponics is awesome. Don't let it intimidate you. It's incredibly easy, very fast, very enjoyable. Your first harvest, you will be shocked at the quality and the quantity of said harvest. In my years smoking, allegedly, I've yet to come across someone saying, wow, this cannabis tastes horrible. This was grown hydroponically. Quite the contrary. So, this is TMNK Gardens. Stay high.
A big thank you to TMNK Gardens for joining us and sharing his insights on growing with DWC. If you're not already following him on Twitter, make sure you do. He's always dropping valuable tips and tricks for growers of all levels. Now for the next segment, I've got something special lined up. A short documentary about mycorrhizal fungi and how it benefits your plants. Before we dive in, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who's still watching and growing along with me. Your support means everything, and it's awesome to share this journey with such an engaged community. With that said, let's get into the fascinating world of mycorrhizal fungi and how these incredible microorganisms form symbiotic relationships with your plants and help them thrive. You won't want to miss this. And like always, keep on growing.
I've always been fascinated by the hidden world beneath our feet. You know, there's so much more to a garden than what meets the eye. No, I'm not talking about the caca in the dirt. Today we're going to explore something truly remarkable, the intricate network of mycorrhizal fungi that exists in the soil. Now you might be wondering, what on earth are mycorrhizal fungi? Well, you see, these microscopic marvels form incredible partnerships with plants, including cannabis. They're the homies. Oh yes, even cannabis benefits from these little dank helpers. In the garden, we often focus on what we can see above ground, but it's the unseen relationships below that can make all the difference. These fungi, you see, aren't just passive dirt squatters. Nope. They're the freaking Tinder of the plant world, swiping right on roots and hooking them up with a nutrient sugar daddy underground. Now, let's zoom in on these freaky fungi, shall we? Mycorrhizal fungi aren't just one kind of critter. Oh no, it's like the fungal version of a wild family reunion, complete with weird uncles and all. But for our purposes today, we'll zero in on two main types: arbuscular mycorrhizae, or AMF, and ectomycorrhizae, or ECM. Marvelous, right? It's like the difference between a clingy roommate and a neighbor who borrows sugar, both in your business but in their own special ways. AMF, you see, they actually penetrate the cell walls of the plant roots. It sounds a bit invasive, doesn't it? But don't worry, it's all part of the plan. These fungi form little structures called arbuscules inside the root cells. Think of them as tiny trees branching out within the cell. Now, ECM, on the other hand, they're a bit less intrusive. They form a sheath around the root, you see, enveloping it like a snug jacket. From this sheath, hyphae, those are the fungal threads, extend out into the soil. These hyphae act like extensions of the plant's root system, reaching out far beyond where the roots themselves can go. Isn't that clever? Nature always finds a way to maximize efficiency. Now that we know these fungi aren't just freeloading in the soil, let's dive into the perks they bring to plants. It's like finding out your lazy roommate secretly pays half the rent. Remarkable, right? These fungi, tiny as they are, pack a punch bigger than a toddler on a sugar rush. First off, they're like nutrient bloodhounds for plants, sniffing out the good stuff in the soil way better than those lazy roots could ever dream of. It's like plants hired a personal assistant with 8 arms to gather food. Move over roots, you're slacking. These fungi are especially good at tracking down phosphorus, the plant world equivalent of protein shakes for growth. And if that wasn't enough, they're also out here acting like soil bartenders, helping plants chug water like a pro. In the garden, that's a total game changer, especially when Mother Nature decides to crank up the heat and skip the rain. Plants with mycorrhizal wingmen are basically the camels of the plant world, surviving dry spells like champs, while everyone else wilts like bad leftovers. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture, shall we? Mycorrhizal fungi don't just benefit individual plants, oh no. They play a crucial role in entire ecosystems. It's honestly mind-blowing when you think about it. These fungi are like the Bob the Builders of the underground. They're out here spreading hyphae like nature's duct tape, gluing soil particles together into little clumps called soil aggregates. Basically, they're turning dirt into deluxe 5-star soil real estate. And good soil structure, well, that's the foundation of a healthy garden or ecosystem. It allows for better water retention and aeration, you see. The soil can hold on to water when it's dry, but it also drains well when it's wet. Isn't that clever? But that's not all. Oh no, there's more. These fungi are also fantastic recyclers. They help break down organic matter in the soil, releasing nutrients that can then be used by plants. It's nature's way of saying, ain't nobody got time for waste. And get this, mycorrhizal fungi are like the ultimate soil bouncers. Their hyphae weave a web so tight, it's practically Spanx for dirt, keeping everything right where it should be. Now let's focus specifically on how mycorrhizal fungi can benefit cannabis cultivation. These fungi can be a cannabis grower's best friend, if you will. First and foremost, mycorrhizae can significantly improve the plant's ability to take up water and nutrients. For cannabis cultivation, where every little bit counts, this can make a world of difference. You see, cannabis plants with strong mycorrhizal associations tend to grow more vigorously and produce higher yields. Isn't that something? But it's not just about quantity, oh no. Quality matters too. And here again, mycorrhizae can help. By ensuring the plant has access to a full range of nutrients, these fungi can contribute to the development of more potent, flavorful cannabis. Now here's something I find particularly interesting. Mycorrhizae can help cannabis plants better withstand stress, whether it's drought, nutrient deficiencies, or even the shock of transplanting. Plants with mycorrhizal partners tend to be more resilient. As we come to the end of our journey into the world of mycorrhizal fungi, I can't help but marvel at the intricate web of life that exists right beneath our feet. You know, in all my years of gardening, I've learned that the most successful gardens are those that work in harmony with nature. And mycorrhizal fungi, well, they're a perfect example of that harmony in action. These tiny, unseen helpers play such a crucial role in plant health, soil ecology, and yes, even in cannabis cultivation. It's a reminder, isn't it, that in nature, nothing exists in isolation. Everything is connected, each part supporting the others in a beautiful, complex dance. As gardeners, as growers, our job is to foster these connections, to create environments where beneficial relationships can flourish. Whether you're tending a small backyard plot or managing a large cannabis operation, embracing the power of mycorrhizal fungi can lead to healthier plants, more sustainable practices, and ultimately better results. So next time you're in your garden, take a moment to appreciate the unseen world beneath your feet. Remember the vast network of mycorrhizal fungi working tirelessly to support your plants. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? Like realizing your houseplants have a better social life underground than you do. But hey, it's a beautiful reminder of nature's magic. Thanks for joining me on this little dirt-filled adventure. Until next time, happy gardening, and remember, keep on growing. Unlike that weird patch in your fridge.
And it just ran after me, so I had to defend myself, obviously. I couldn't just stand there.
We watch as nature